Hello everybody, I'm going to do a review on this rotary hammer I picked up from Harbor Freight. This is item number 69334. They claim these retail for $259.99. It was on sale for $123.99. I applied a 25% off coupon, so I got this for $92.99 plus tax out the door. Now this does not come with chisels or masonry bits for drilling holes. I did not purchase any masonry bits. That's not why I purchased it for this round of use. But they do have a 3-piece SDS Max masonry chisel bit set for $29, and I called ahead before I went over there to get this, and they didn't have any, even though they told me they did. So one of the gentlemen in the store pointed me over to a wholesale tool store, which I hadn't been to in probably 15 years. And I picked up basically the identical set for $14. These are the 3 chisel points that I got right here. I'm kind of doing this review a little bit odd because I do want to show that these will actually fit in the case right there. It does come with a blow molded case. Seems to be a fairly decent quality. In the case, obviously, you get the owner's manual. It came with an extra set of motor brushes. That's pretty nice. It has a pin spanner wrench for taking off the grease cap so you can lubricate it. We'll get into that momentarily. As well as it came with a little bit of grease. There's one other item in here, and I'm not exactly sure what this is. It makes no reference. Anyway, it kind of looks like a seal that might be inside this somewhere. I couldn't really make it out in the breakdown, the parts illustration. Or I guess perhaps you could put it on here and act like a dust shield. I'm not real confident on this, knowing exactly what it's for, so if anybody truly knows, drop me a line. But it came with it nonetheless. Let me get it out of the box here and we'll move on. Alright, well, just a little tour of the tool here. Chuck, of course. Pull that back, load in your bit. This is the dial that you turn. Right now it's set on hammer only. Push the yellow button, rotate it around. Now we're on hammer drill. It does have a dampener in the handle, so it should help reduce fatigue. When you have it plugged in, there's a light that illuminates here. That's the only thing I see that does. The grease cap is right here on the top that you would use this pin spanner for. Take this off. You're supposed to clean out the grease monthly and re-lubricate it. I don't know how friendly of a procedure that's going to be, but that's the way that's supposed to work. Of course, there's a handle on it you can loosen up and set it to any position you like. It actually is cashing in at about 13.7 pounds according to their website, so it's a fairly beefy tool. I'm really getting surprised with their fit and finish on their electrical tools, or their powered tools. They seem to be getting better over the years in terms of quality. I can't complain with it at all at this stage. Of course, I have not used it yet. So I'll go ahead and just insert one of the bits here. I've got it on direct hammer. I'm just going to hold it just so you can kind of see it. Now that's supposed to be 0 to 5100 beats per minute. Now I'll put it on hammer drill just so we can see if it does do anything. I know it's going to be hard to hang on to, but that function seems to work just fine. It's got a variable speed trigger on it, so let me just run it. Seems to work pretty good. So that's basically the rundown on it. I actually purchased this to do a job that I'm not to yet on a property where I need to take out a retaining wall that's made of cinder block. So I went ahead and picked up these bits so I can just chisel the mortar out and get it apart fairly quickly. However, at my own property here, I am going to be building a deck and I have a concrete stoop. So since I was buying the tool for another purpose, I'm going to go ahead and try it and see if I can remove my stoop. It's probably about a 6-inch tall block. So I'm going to cut some saw, maybe have to cut some slits in it with a masonry blade, and then chisel it out with this if I can. And if I can get the job done, I don't mind if it takes me a little bit longer, because for 24 hours for a 65 or 60 to 70 pound electric hammer, it's going to cost me about $77. So if I can do it with this, I'm going to do it. So that's what we're going to test it on and see what kind of damage we can do with it. Alright, well, this is part of the stoop I'm going to be taking out. I'm just going to start on this corner and see if I can knock it off. Here we go. Yeah, I fully expected that to take a while. So like I said, I think I'm going to do some saw slits across here, and then I'll go into the gap and shear it off. Okay, I took my masonry saw and just cut a section out of it. I could only get about halfway through the slab, so we'll see what happens now. Alright, well, I've been at it about 10 minutes or so. I switched to the wide spade bit, and that seems to be working a lot better even without cutting grooves. It's been probably 15 years or better since I've actually used the jackhammer, and I wasn't really letting the tool do the work. I was pressing too hard, so I lightened up and just basically hold the tool down, and it's actually working really well. I'm quite pleased with it. Give you a little demo here. Well, alright guys, my 4-inch stoop back there turned into an 8-inch stoop. Someone had done a re-pour atop what was there originally, so I've got more work to do with this hammer than I anticipated. But you know what? It's doing the job. It's working great. One thing I failed to do was to grease the end of my bits before I put them in here, and I knew better. It even says it in the manual. I just didn't do it. So basically what happened is a lot of friction is generating heat up in here, and this whole crankcase and everything got super hot, and it actually liquefied some of the grease, and it was just running out the front. You can see it on my fingers there. So that was my doing. So I'll clean it up, and I'll go at it again tomorrow with a greased bit, and if I still have a heat generation problem up here, I may take it back and return it because there may be something wrong internally. But by the way the tool functions and how well it functions, I don't think that's the case, but I could be wrong. But all in all, this is an SDS Max rotary tool here. They have SDS, SDS Plus, SDS Max. There's some splines. This is the SDS Max, so there's a lot of versatility in what bits you can buy to put in it. And this is a 1 9/16 stroke. So if you start looking around at the name brand stuff, you know, I think you're going to be about $300 coming in the door on one of those. And this thing works great. I have absolutely no complaints with it. It's got power. It's fairly user friendly in terms of ergonomics and comfort. Of course, it will wear you out the longer you use it, but what won't? But all in all, I think it's a great tool, so if you guys are looking for something like this for a specific task, I'd highly recommend going this direction. Hope this helps in some way. Thanks for watching, and good luck.